Breaking news: Reno Omokri explained how US exposed Gambari as an ineffective embarrassment. Reno Omokri has finally fulfilled his promise of exposing the activities of the new Chief of Staff to President Muhammadu Buhari, Prof. Ibrahim Agboola Gambari. Omokri published a piece on Sunday detailing that the activities of Gambari during an assignment with the United States of America. Omokri announced last week on his Twitter handle that he would soon expose Gambari. The article read in part, with the appointment of Ibrahim Gambari as General Buhari's new Chief of Staff, sycophants have gone into overdrive. They are falling over themselves to praise him in terms so annoyingly untruth and undeserving. I am not surprised that it is after all the Nigerian way, our peculiar brand of politics empowered by stomach infrastructure. However, I will not sit and watch this desperate beggar pass of Mr. Gambari as soon winkled and must be exposed. Nothing could be further from the truth. Mr. Gambari is anything but competent. Yes, due to his ethnicity and his family name, Ibrahim Gambari enjoyed a rapid rise through Nigerian civil service. The truth, however, is that, like his kinsman, Buhari, he owns his rise not to merit but to the nepotism and the favoritism that has given priority access to people of his pedigree, above and beyond other Nigerians of equal or much better qualifications. Mr. Gambari's clay feet was exposed by no less a personality than the erudite and cerebrous MC Rice, who was then the U.S. Secretary of State under President George W. Bush, the then United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, and Mr. Gambari, who had filled Nigeria's quota as Under Secretary of the United Nations to Burma as a special envoy. Mr. Gambari so crewed up that mission of the United demanded his dismissal from his embarrassing and effective handling of the job. This is contained in a leaked Wikipedia, quoting that the Guardian of UK, the US was also disappointed with the UN Special Envoy to Burma, Ibrahim Babangida, and the Kabos, reveals how the then US Secretary of State, Condoleezza Rice, ordered the US mission at the United Nations to work for his removal. The US was so concerned about Mr. Ibrahim Gambari's inappropriate claims that they stopped just short of calling him a liar. Ms. Rice, in the cable, called on Mr. Ban Ki-moon to dismiss Mr. Gambari, while saying that this should occur as soon as practical. We have no wish to embarrass Mr. Gambari and have no intent to link any removal with a lack of progress in Burma, but we would ask that you find a way to terminate gracefully his particularly and mission concerning Rice. Shortly after Mrs. Rice's cable, Mr. Gambari was removed and after that sidelined at the United Nations. All this is the man that they are boasting and claiming to be the next and the new chairman and the new chief of staff of President Muhammadu Buhari. To show you how naive and narcissistic Mr. Gambari is, he later gave an interview and claimed that the US plot to remove him failed because he was given a beggar office. His exact words were, "I was simply resigned to a beggar and more sensitive post where I currently serve. That someone could be so gullible and naive is not the point. The issue is that despite his hubris, his fellow has been elevated to perhaps the most important office in Nigeria other than the office of the president." If you read the Wikipedia, I encourage you to read it. You will see that Mrs. Rice suggested that Mr. Ban Ki-moon, that rather than embarrass Mr. Gambari, it should simply be reassigned to another less sensitive office. In other words, that he should be promoted into obscurity, where he would no longer be able to embarrass either himself or the United Nations. I sincerely urge my readers to search these issues I have raised. They are in public domain. Do not take my words for it. However, this is the only and just one side of the Gambari saga. The other is that this appointment further betrays General Buhari's nepotistic tendencies. I love Fulanis, and as a bachelor, I dated Fulanis. I always marry one of them. My wife could be mistaken for a pure and thoroughly Fulani because of her nationality. My only interest here is equity. General President Muhammadu Buhari appointed Gambari, a 75-year-old northern Nigerian Muslim, a Fulani from Kwara, not Yoruba, as described in the media by President Muhammadu Buhari, paid professional as a chief of staff. Already the heads of the executive, legislature, judiciary, defense, army, police, NSA, DSS, NIA, DIA, NSP, EFCC, all northern Muslim men. This is against the Federal Character Act. The question I ask is this: is Nigeria a Muslim brotherhood? Some may say or see the name Agboola and assume incorrectly that Ibrahim Agboola Babangida is a Yoruba. Not so. Ibrahim Agboola Babangida is Fulani. The Fulani of Ilorin have a long established tradition of bearing Yoruba names. However, that does not make them Yoruba. For example, Olushola Saraki was Fulani. Read these words below. My great-great-grandfather originated from Mali, and I'm talking about some 150 to 200 years ago, and they are Fulani. As a matter of fact, Ibrahim Agboola Gambari is from the Sulu Gambari Fulani lineage that races its origin to Alimi, the Fulani scholar that overthrew Afonja and installed himself and his heir as emirs in Ilorin, a previously Yoruba town. Even the current Fulani emir of Ilorin has a Yoruba middle name. His full name is Alhaji Ibrahim Kolapo Sulu Gambari. He is not Yoruba, he is Fulani, like Ibrahim Agboola Gambari. Who is his uncle, not his brother, as some reported. The Fulani practice of adopting local names and culture into theirs is a commendable policy that the Romans practiced before them. After defeating the Greek, the Romans adopted Greek names, gods, and practices. It will turn many people to note that some so-called Christians doctrines, practices, the holidays are actually of Greek origin and imposed on Christendom by the Roman Catholic Church. But that is a story for another day. Today we focus on Gambari and Buhari. Also, General Buhari is 77, head of the executive. Justice Tanko is 66, ex-head of the judiciary. Ahmed Lawan is 61, head of the legislature. The average age of President Muhammadu Buhari, Buhari's ministers is 55. The Minister of Young is 54. Thank you, viewers, for listening to this news. You have heard from what's his name? Reno Omokri. According to what Reno Omokri said, he's trying to expose and tell us who Gambari is. A lot of people have been arguing about his tribe. They have been contemplating if Gambari is a Yoruba man or a Fulani man. But now it is clear that Gambari is a Fulani and not Yoruba. Now Omokri has made us know where he came from. Before he became Chief of Staff to the President Muhammadu Buhari administration, Reno Omokri said that he worked with the UN, the United States, as a secretary of the state under President George W. Bush. According to what Reno said, he said Mr. Gambari is so crude. He crude up that mission, that he had a mission that the US now demanded for his dismissal for the embarrassment he gave to them by when he was handling the job, and he was exposed by Chris Rice, the US Secretary of the States of the United States. They removed Gambari because of his evil plans in the States when he was the secretary to W. Watch. Mrs. Rice in the cable called on Mr. Ban Ki-moon to dismiss Mr. Gambari, while saying that this should occur as soon as practice. So Gambari has been a wicked person right from the onset. Before he started working with President Muhammadu Buhari in 1984, he was a secretary to W. Watch in the USA because of his bad side and his wicked plans that he has for the when he was working as a secretary, made them dismiss him before he became the minister in Nigeria, the minister of President Muhammadu Buhari, then in 1983. And now Buhari is bringing him back as the chief of staff to the country, Nigeria. So Omokri has told us what and who Gambari is, his plans, and where he came from, and what the plans that he has for Nigeria now that he is back as the chief of staff. So viewers, what is your take on this? Your comment is very needed. Drop your comment below the comment box. Click on the subscription button as well as the bell button to receive updates whenever I publish new videos. And don't forget, share and like these things as well. Thank you.